Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name's Lauren.
My name is Ian.
And this is kettlebell workout number 2 for this summer. So earlier in this year, we had semesters 1 to 4, and they can be found on a YouTube playlist, probably lower somewhere around here. We've put all those kettlebell videos together where we improved our skills and worked on things like as our single arm swing, our clean, our press, our squats, and into our snatches. Tonight's workout will be based on the snatch and the get up. Let's get started with your kettlebell, but first, body weight.
Body weight, and we'll get right to the floor. Let's stand with our feet in parallel and warm up those knees and ankles as part of those lunge series coming up, and push those hips through, cramping those glutes. And it's a good time to just gently start to test your abs. Make sure the brace, make sure you can breathe behind that. Get those knees over the toes again, and this time just push on through. And right away, let's just find a little bit of a rise, get your balance system fired up, get those feet excited as well. And now slowly return those heels to the floor. Squeeze your butt, pull up those kneecaps. This time, go down to those knees over toes again, and pull up those heels so we descend just a little bit further. And then we'll stand up one more time, pushing those hips through, squeezing those glutes, bracing the core, and slowing down those feet. And this time we'll get all the way to the floor as you go knees over toes. Heels can lift up to help us get a little bit lower. Then the knees touch the ground. Those hips go through. We hold on to our balances and our butt cheek squeezes, and we'll find wrist warm-ups with some head and neck movement in there as well. So hinge on those hips, fingers, calluses, hands find the floor. At the head neck, casually look forward in extension forward, and then look towards those hands in a chin tuck. And do that one more time, and as you swing or snatch today, your head will be somewhere between these places. Probably not truly forward, probably not truly down, but find those places in between that feel just right for you. At the hands now, let's go first knuckle push-ups, meaning elbows stay straight, heels lift the floor. Repeat and breathe. And keep those elbows straight and get those wrists warmed up for some get-ups coming up here. And then push on through. Good time again to squeeze the glutes. Bring the ribs down over those hips. Make sure we can breathe or take a punch from behind. Then let's turn the hands all the way around. Fingers, calluses, hands again. And before we move the hands, let's do an ear to shoulder movement here. The neck doesn't move as my ear moves towards my shoulder. My neck stays mostly stable as my head moves the other way. Repeat a couple in a row, ear towards shoulder, and pull and create tension and find the activation for those muscles, and return to the middle. Now this time, try to bend those elbows, maybe even just flick the fingertips away, and then if your butt cheeks are on your heels, give them a good squeeze and extend through. Let's just take things into a lunge out front now, back up just a little bit, and we'll have a hip tucked under here and a leg pulled in there. And Lauren, what do we do from there next?
Well, next, we keep that continuous pull together. So we pull that front leg in, we drive that back hip forward. Maintaining your shoulders over top of our hips, let's go for a little knee over toe. As we go, still keep ribs to hips. Try not to extend too much that it starts coming through that low back. So hips stay down. Now keep squeezing this cheek as you come all the way back up to tall. Now it'd be no fun if we switch from here, so let's push forward and back and hover off the floor. Again, I'm still stacked. Could we stay this height but peel the heel off the front heel off the floor, place it down. Come up to mid station, peel the front heel up off the floor, place it down. Come up a little higher but keep that front knee bent, peel the heel. Now keep that heel high, high, high off the floor, but continue to pull yourself down. Heel comes down, pulls underneath, shakes it out, repeats on the other side. Into that lunge position again. Again, pulling that front leg in, back hip squeezing and forward. We'll pull so much we drift. We're trying to keep the pelvis fairly level. We're trying to keep that back hip extended, and then we're pushing forward, meeting ourselves up to tally tall. Next, push down and forward, down and back, hover. Then peel that front heel off. Whew. Heel goes down, mid station. Front heel peels off, ankle tries to stay in line, heel down. One more up, front shin still vertical, heel peels up, pull the floor together as you slowly descend. Hi-yi-yi. Place that leg back underneath you. And
we'll go back to those hover positions really quickly to warm up those shoulders and again, load your core. So let's hinge on those hips, land fingers, calluses in full hands. Do this from the knees on the ground, or for a little extra, let's hover those knees. I'll be hovering right away. So with my knees off the floor, I'll pull my shoulders together in retraction. That's a squeeze together. Then a shrug up to my ears, and then I'll push my blades around my rib cage into the floor. Then pull back down to the hips. Repeat one more time in that circle. It's a together, a shrug, elevation up, a push around, pull down hips, knees find the ground, and let's just give the floor a good push away there, and shake out, and reset, and always check in with hips through, ribs to hips. Now let's just reverse that circle with the blades one last time for 2 reps, but one last set. So knees could stay grounded or hover, and then I'll pull together, retraction, pull down, depression, then push away, shrug up, elevation, and repeat the circle one more time. Retract, down, spread them, shrug them one last time, but this is kettlebell class, so finish with them down and push through. And I hope that got the core temperature up a little bit, got the tension going on those body parts, because we'll need it for get-ups and swings.
Let's stand up, do a quick overhead mobility before we get to our halos. Toes tuck underneath of us. Rock ourselves back to that low squat. Let's put our heels down right away and just hang out for a second here, and then push through tall. Great. Gently put both arms into your rack position. We have vertical forearms, our wrists are nice and straight, and that pinky is reaching up towards the ceiling. Then, just as we did, but from a different direction, we'll shrug our shoulders and then pull down. Let's do one arm at a time. Keep your shoulder down as you slowly raise your arm towards overhead. Once it's at your safe overhead, straighten the elbow even more. Then shrug the shoulder up, pull the shoulder down with a nice straight elbow. Try to get that arm a little closer to your ear. Then do it again. Reach towards the sky, shrug. Pull down. Keep your elbow straight. Try to pull it a little more overhead. One more time. Shrug up, straight elbow, pull down, a little more overhead, but my ribs are to my hips, my chin slightly tucked, my butt squeezed. Now start pulling the sky down. Engage those lats, get that imaginary bell back to the rack position. Whew, light on that side. Same thing, second side. Vertical forearm, pinky driving up, shoulder stays low, arm goes towards overhead. Once there, do a light shrug of the shoulder up, pull down, keep the elbow straight. Ooh. Shrug the shoulder up, pull down, keep the elbow straight. Try to get a little more overhead. Last time, shrug up, pull down, then square up your shoulders to the front of the room, ribs down, squeeze your cheeks, and start pulling the sky down again, back to that vertical position. Check it out. Drop the bells.
Woo.
Wow.
Body parts are heavy alone sometimes, but we also like to train with that kettlebell, so here we go. My cues, your cues.
I'll go.
Okay.
We'll get into that halo action with the kettlebell right now. First, we'll pick it up via our squat. So I like to stand just slightly behind my bell. A little bit lighter of a bell, or a bell that you're fairly comfortable with is appropriate for this exercise. Let's pull ourselves down into that low squat. Overhand grip. Then tip the bell and hup, curl it up. Stay here for 1 second. Maybe open and open, lifting chest. We're going to stand up with it. Now from here, it's going to go ear, back of head, ear, front of head. Let's go that same direction again. As I'm doing this, it's the shoulders and the bell moving around my head. Switch directions for 3. My body is fairly stationary. My head is not moving. I'm breathing. I'm keeping my butt cheeks squeezed in that core brace. Last one in this direction. I'll return it to center, step into my squat, pull bell down, extend arms, tippy bell, sit up tall, boom. Whew. Nice. Now we'll warm up those single arm swings in our favorite pattern.
1 hike, 2 stop, 3 swings. So stand behind the bell, grab with that single hand and stay the same height here as we pull to the hike pass, return out front. Repeat, but this time stand. That's our stop swing. We'll do that one more time, a hike, a full swing, and a park. And now 3 continuous. That's 1 out front, hike pass, out front. Last one, park it, come up, do the shake. Let's do the same thing other side. Single, double, and then a triple for the continuous. Hike pass, stay the same height. Hike pass, full swing, controlled park. Repeat, Where's that breathing match? And now 3 in a row, front hike pass, out front hike pass, and then one more time. Return to the floor. Stops, intermittent training there. Pretty hard on that system, but it gets to be refining those techniques and those unique phases of the swing.
Woo-wee. That feels warmed up. But
Yes,
let's do halos again.
I would say.
So come back to your bell, place it a little bit in front of you. Sit yourself down into that squat by pulling yourself down. Overhand grip, curl bell back up. Then, sitting up tall, let's open one leg one more time. Keep the foot heavy on the floor, back to center. Open the other leg, keeping the foot heavy to center, to tall. Let's alternate directions. One direction, in center, change. 3 each way, up to 6 total. Check in with your core. Is it nice and strong and sturdy? Bell is moving around you. High ponytails do get in the way, so modify as needed. Last one, return to center. Step, pull that bell down. Place it nice and softly, or softish.
Softish.
And stand up without.
Okay.
One more little warm up before we get snatches.
So if the
going.
warm up includes, if the workout includes the snatch, then we should get that warmed up too. Let's get one kettlebell swing into the clean position, and we'll press it, and then follow it down the body, return it to the floor. And let's try that twice in a row. So it's gonna be a single arm swing that ends up in that clean position. Ready to go, Lauren?
So it's a clean?
A clean. 3, 2, a hike, and a clean. Now press it overhead, perhaps open your stance if we're doing our snatch, and then down the body and return it to the floor. Repeat again. A hike pass to the clean, a press overhead, and then down the body and return to the ground. Now switch sides and repeat the same thing. A kettlebell clean, hike, and here we are. A single press, and then down the body, return to the floor, and one more again, clean, press, and bring it down and park. That down direction, pretty darn challenging, making sure that one feels okay first, and then lastly, warming up that overhead movement as well.
All right. Well, there's nothing less to warm up other than a full snatch.
Oh, all right.
So let's do that. Let's do what we just did. So from the floor to overhead in that snatch, and then park the bell. And then we'll add on a little continuous motion. So from here, it's from the floor, through the hips, all the way, overhead punch. Good. Back down the same way, park the bell. Let's repeat that again. Pull, overhead. This time, instead of putting it down, through to the hike pass, back overhead. Hike pass, back overhead. Hike pass, park bell. Hike pass, park bell. Whew, great job. Same thing, second side. One stop snatch from the floor, all the way overhead. Use those hips, through park bell. Now, back overhead, hips drive the bell up. Back to hike pass, back overhead. Hike pass, park. Whew, nice work.
Nice.
Over the course of semester 4, we broke down that snatch over 6 weeks. If that is seeming a little intimidating, you may want to go revisit one of those episodes, or instead of doing snatches tonight, maybe do a clean and a press to get that bell overhead. Both would be great, because the pattern tonight is 2 snatches, get up, down, get up, up. 2 snatches, get up, down, get up, up. 3, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 2. So if snatches aren't for you, again, clean, press, great. Time under tension, time underneath that bell. But first, we're snatching. We're starting with 2. The second one will stay up tall. So from the floor to overhead, from the floor, whammo. Now back through to hike pass, back overhead. Keep it there. Full get up to the floor, step back lunge. Open. Why'd you put yourself in a corner?
I did.
Oh, we could
I
go
always
from
do.
there. But until then, we'll get to the floor. And then we'll go hip drive. Squish that bug. It's a bridge sweep. Hand leaves floor. Square up your lunge. Now to get it down, snatch, unsnatch. So through hike pass, park bell.
Whew.
Snatch down, unsnatch.
Unsnatch yourself. Okay. Same thing, it's 2 repetitions, snatches on alternate side. Hike pass, overhead, back to the hike, and overhead. And get yourself out of a corner, but get yourself in a lunge. And then open, and that's our windmill. And our sweep. Find the elbow, find the floor. Now drive off that hip. Lorna said, time under tension. Build strength, build endurance through that windmill. Strict in that squared up lunge, and stand tall. And then our snatch, movement down, and park. Whew. Nice. 2 in the
Bank.
Nice.
Next 3. Let's get to that right away. Not too much breaking tonight. Try to stay continuous under that bell. 3, from the hike, overhead. Hike, overhead. 1 more. And then it stays there. Get up, down. Lunge. Step. Rotate, stack. Elbow. And when we get to our back, keep that bell up. Use your hip drive, pull on your elbow. That first move isn't a sit-up. It's a push with the hip leg and a pull on the elbow. Once up, through, park. Stand up, shake it out. Second side, number 3.
3 reps. Thanks for the cue. It's a hike, and it's overhead. It's a breath in on the down and a hop on the up. And 1 more time, breath in and up. Then adjust your stance and drop in the lunge with control, that vertical shin. Look at the bell as you rotate. Sweep, elbow to your back, and then drive the hip, pull on the elbow. Sit tall with a stiff elbow, sweep, press away, square up the lunge, stand tall, and then our snatch down to the floor.
Excellent. How are those snatches going? How is that time underneath that bell? Our next number is 5. It's the peak of our pyramid. If 5 is too many, do a number that's less so you can finish your whole get up nice and cleanly. All right, 5.
I'm ready.
When you're ready, hand on bell, hike pass overhead. 1, 2, 3. It's those hips that drive the bell up there. Your best snatch is probably the easiest one. Then step back lunge. Leg you can touch goes back. Take your time on that descent as you work your way to the floor. Press away from your elbow. Hip drive pull. Find your hand. Bridge sweep. Press away. Front. And then from here, snatch to the floor. Ooh.
Get-ups down are a little bit different, I guess, than most get-ups up. In studio, people have said, oh, which leg is it? And we start at the top, and I was a victim to that same circumstance right there. The leg you can touch, Ian, that's when it drops back. 5 on the alternate side now, 4, those snatches, breath in on the hike, and up effort. And exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. It's those hips. And maybe even if you say hips, we'll get there. Then, a leg you can touch. Drop back in the lunge. Open through the windmill. Hinge on the floor. Sit tall. Push off this elbow and lever yourself to the ground. Then drive off the hip. Sitting tall again. And we'll bridge this time. Press the floor away. Square up the lunge. Stand tall. Open your stance if you need. And snatch that bell back down to the ground. That's the apex of that work here today. It doesn't get easier from here. Those reps do get down a little bit.
This set here is the, what's that word they always use? The penultimate set here. I was going to say the confluence, but that's where the rivers meet. All right. We have set number 4, 3 reps. First arm, let's get started. Set up. Hike pass overhead. Punch through that bell. Firm, but light grip. 1. Punch through. 2. Last one. Step back. Lunge. Open up. Start looking at that bell as you do that windmill rotation. Elbow. Press away. Control to the floor. Hip drive pull. squish bug, bridge sweep, press away, square up, then bell down, through, park.
It is that summertime season here. How are your grips? Mine are feeling all right. Feel a little bit hot right now. I'm making sure your bell feels secure in the hand. So take that extra second to make sure that the bell is safe in the grip.
Hot grips.
And here we go for our last set of 3. It doesn't mean last set. This is our last set of 3. Hike, overhead, hike. Repeat one more time. Then that leg you can touch. Always a good cue to drop in the lunge, open the windmill, hinge, stack, sweep, find the elbow, find the back, and repeat those steps in reverse up. Hip drive, tall sit, bridging, sweeping of a leg, squaring up of a lunge, standing tall, and then our snatch effort down. Woo. And if that was the penultimate set, this is our last one.
The ultimate.
And big exercises have in common. They're just bigger and more complex. Keep it simple. With today's practice, we have 3 or 4 different moves with the kettlebell. I think you're working out pretty hard if you're looking anything like me. So keep it going.
Enough of this chit chat. Last set here.
Okay.
2 snatches in a row. Hand on bell, pull, overhead, back through, overhead. Leg you can touch, drop back. Last get up on this side. Nice and smooth, 1 move at a time. Breathing as you go. Drive back up. Looking at that kettlebell as you sweep, and then as you square up, head looks forward. Once we're tall, back through, and park. Excellent.
So don't get accused of being chatty Cathy right away.
Oh, right away.
Same thing, 2 snatch, hike pass, overhead. Do one last time, and then drop that lunge. Take your time. Windmill's the opening, and the hinging, and the tall sit. Elbow, and push off your back. Push off your elbow to your back. Then drive off the hip. Sit tall and bridge and sweep. Square up that lunge. Tall stand. And our last snatch down. Make it a quiet one. And make it that you could do more if you had to. But sometimes more is just more. I hope.
But it's not more.
Oh.
If we just do 1 last set.
Oh.
No get-ups. 5 snatches each arm.
Okay,
Done.
fine.
Okay.
I go, you go, or just together?
Yeah, let's go. I go, you go. Sounds like a great idea. Ian goes first.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, do you want a break?
Nope.
5 snatches first arm. So either you're going with Ian or you're going with myself. We'll do 5 snatches in a row here. Equal work to rest. So Ian does 5, I do 5. You take a little break when it's your off time. Shake it out. Park the bell with control.
Whew. 5 reps. I'm not too sure how many reps we're doing today, but I know it's not near 100. When Lauren and I do train for 100 repetition snatch personal test, we do group lists like this. You don't necessarily do 100 at once, but you build over time, and that time and retention for them.
All right, team Ian, you're back up. 1 more set of 5 to finish it out here. Putting it all together. Breathing when those hips drive through, punching through the bell, keeping a firm grip so you don't let that bell go, but a light grip so you can punch through and not have a big plop.
That's right. Firm grip in the hike pass, then that supple grip, and how to push your handle through the kettlebell overhead. Awesome. For me, it takes about 4 minutes and 50 some odd seconds to do 100. You're Captain Lauren right here. Sometimes in that 3.5 minutes.
Not that. 350.
350. Sub 4. So again, thank you very much for being here live on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock for our strength and swing versions. And today is our summertime workout 2.
On Thursday, we'll be having a bar practice on the other side of the room where we work on our hip mobility and our upper body strength. And join us because it's our 10th anniversary that day of marriage.
Lovely.
That is. So join us then and celebrate with us for a little bar practice. What else would you want to do on your wedding anniversary?
Yeah, I won't use my ring this time.
Okay, good. And then on Saturday, we will have a pre-recorded version of our Saturday at 8 a.m. workout. We're just heading to a cottage, but we'll make sure to get it out to you so you have something to do this weekend.
I know it.
Until next time, check out our YouTube, check out our Patreon, like and subscribe, and take care.
Stay strong.
And we'll train soon.
Happy night.
Goodbye.